How was Woman in the Yard? Not as bad as I expected. Like, it wasn't good, but I really thought it was going to be a lot worse. I saw it last night. It's just mediocre. So it wasn't good, it wasn't bad, which means it ends up being kind of boring. It looks so dumb like every other Blumhouse film. Yeah. Because it is. It is very true to its title. It is all about a woman in the yard. But then it tries to get, like, really deep about itself at the end. Which, I mean, all power to them. I guess you gotta try. Yeah, Woman in the Yard just wasn't very good. Which I don't think many people expected it to be good. Is the plot predictable? I think so, yeah. I think it's very predictable. Is the plot she's just in the yard? Yeah, how much do you guys care about spoilers for Woman in the Yard? Because I can talk about it a little more if you want. Pretty much overwhelmingly, no, don't care. Yeah, so it literally is a woman in the yard. And she has the power of shadows. So what she can do is she can, like, move shadows around. So she'll, like, stretch a shadow arm out and hit, like, a wind chime to scare people. Or she'll use her shadow arm in the house to, like, move the chair. That's her big power. But her huge thing is that the mom summoned her by accident. And at the end of the movie, they explain what that means. The woman is Noob Saibot. Unironically, kind of. She is literally Noob Saibot. If the movie is deep at the end, would it be less boring? No, I think it made it more boring. Okay, since you guys said you don't care about spoilers, I'll just really get into it real quick. So the movie has her planted, posted up, just slabbed in the middle of the yard. This family has gone through a tragedy where the mother and father were in a car accident and it killed the father. The mother survived with a very bad leg injury. Then this woman appears in the yard a couple of weeks later. And they're like, Mom, there's a woman in the yard. She's like, damn, there's a woman in the yard. So she goes to talk to her, and then the woman kills her chickens with the shadow. And it's like, oh man, she's dangerous. But the mom is like a really, like, dog shit mom. She is a terrible mom. She has, like, these anger outbursts. She, like, throws glass. She hits one of her kids by, like, throwing something at him. She even has these, like hallucinations where she kills the kids. So, like, the mom is unhinged. She is, like, set up as a unstable, bad mom. And the woman explains to her that today's the day that she's been summoned by the mom, and the mom's confused on what that means. So she takes it as this woman in the yard's about to kill her kids. So you go through the movie with literally just jump scares and nothing else, no real substance, and then the big reveal is that that car accident that they were in, the mother lied about it. She got the husband killed in the car accident by getting into the accident. Because they got in this big argument over dinner about how unhappy she was with the house and her life, and she hates her kids, it seems. And then her husband dies. So then she's going through all this trauma and she feels so guilty. And it turns out the woman in the yard is this manifestation of her guilt and her desire to end her own life. So that's the big thing at the end. The woman in the yard gets into the house. She keeps getting progressively closer as the sun gets further and further down. She's eventually in the house. And then we go through like this really trippy montage of the mom being the woman in the yard. And then it eventually culminates with her about to take her own life, and the woman in the yard's using the shadows to help her do it. And then she doesn't do it, but it leaves it with a cliffhanger where she might have done it because her name, Ramona, was spelt backwards, which was something that was in the earlier part of the film where she entered the mirror dimension for like the perfect life she always wanted, but it was all backwards. So the idea is she did take her own life, and now she's existing in the mirror realm. Like, it really feels like they had this super simple movie with Woman in the Yard, and then they felt really guilty about how cringe it was and how lazy. So at the end, they just start going like, and then mirror dimension, and then she's guilty and wants to kill herself. So the woman in the yard's actually her the whole time, and she's trying to take her own life because she feels like her kid's going to be better off without her. And it just doesn't really work. It would have been better if they just stayed with like the really simple, silly jump scares.